Part 43. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 421. Although Chu Wei is only 20 million spiritual energy points away from entering the Great Awakener realm, he can basically advance as long as he defeats his opponents a few times in the 9-layer Extreme Tower. But Chu Wei still doesn't want to miss the medium-level mutation crystal that can obtain 20,000 spiritual energy points. After all, after entering the Great Awakener realm, the next one is the Second Awakener. Such a realm will definitely require more and more spiritual energy points, so Chu Wei will collect as many resources as possible, such as mutation crystals. A few days later. The sky is clear and the summer sun is always the hottest. The sun shines on the roof of a city. The roof of this city is very strange, whether it is a small house or a 100-meter-high building. There is a crescent-shaped moon statue on the roof. Some statues are very large, like a small boat, while some are very small, only as big as a table. The entrance to the fortress of the city is a huge moon, with a big door in the middle for vehicles and pedestrians to enter and exit. Swoosh! An Aura taxi stopped at the entrance of the city. After the car door opened, a handsome young man wearing a famous brand walked out of the car. The young man had a slight bangs. Although he looked only 16 or 17 years old, his expression and temperament were mature and calm, which his peers did not have. When the sun shone on the handsome face of the young man, it made his face look like a man from another world. He was like the son of a banished immortal, so extraordinary. So this is Xinyu City. It's quite unique. The young man looked at the big moon at the entrance of the city and said in amazement. The young man was Chu Wei, who came here to find Yan Chenexai. When Chu Wei just got off the car, he was in a villa in Xinyu City. Yan Chenexai was angrily saying to a middle-aged man, "Dad, didn't you say that we should wait until the ancestor worship to open the treasure chest? Why do we have to open it now?" Yan Luojun said, "Chenexai, isn't this unexpected? Besides, with the genius invited by Ming this time, opening the treasure chest is a sure thing. Don't talk about the Chu Wei you found anymore." "Yes, Sister Chenexai, let's not talk about the talent of the Chu Wei you found. You have seen the talent of Mr. Gong Cai just now. There is no problem opening the treasure chest." Wang Ming, the Ming mentioned by Yan Luojun, said. There are a total of 4 people in the hall of this villa at the moment. In addition to them, there is another person dressed very strangely. I saw him sitting in the living room, wearing a black robe. The robe is one piece, covering his head and face, leaving only a pair of eyes. His black robe is also quite strange, with some stars embroidered on it. He is the Gong Cai mentioned by Wang Ming. Gong Cai said, "Don't worry, Miss Chenexai, I can definitely open the treasure chest. As for Chu Wei you mentioned, we don't need him anymore." Facing the decision of the 3 people, Yan Chenexai's face was anxious, and he said, "Dad, but Chu Wei and I have already agreed. If he comes, wouldn't I be lying to him? That's easy. If the Chu Wei you mentioned is really good, then even if he can't help my Yan family, I, Yan Luojun, will still pay him the reward you told him. Is that okay?" Seeing that Yan Luojun had made up his mind, Yan Chenexai could only sigh helplessly. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 422. But at this moment, Yan Chenexai's phone suddenly rang. "Hello, is this Yan Chenexai? I'm Chu Wei, and I've arrived at the gate of Crescent City." Chu Wei's official voice came on the phone. "What, you're here? Okay, I'll pick you up right away." Yan Chenexai hung up the phone and hurried out of the villa. When Yan Chenexai walked out, she didn't notice a pair of eyes looking directly at her mature and plump body. This person is exactly the name of the king. Yan Chenexai, after today, you will be my plaything in the hands of Wang Ming. You have been looking down on me for so many years. I will take revenge on you and the entire Yan family. Desire flashed in Wang Ming's eyes, as well as murderous intent. The city gate. While Chu Wei was waiting, a yellow Aura sports car entered Chu Wei's eyes from the street. When it stopped, the car door opened and it was Yan Chenexai. Are you here? Yan Chenexai said a little guiltily. Well. Why, don't you welcome me? Calculating the time, Chu Wei arrived early. After all, the time Yan Chenexai said last time was a month, but now it is only half a month. No. Of course not. You get in the car first and I'll tell you slowly. As soon as Chu Wei got into the sports car, Yan Chenexai said, Chu Wei, I'm really embarrassed this time. My dad found someone else to open the treasure box. However, don't worry, I will still give you what I promised you. Chu Wei frowned slightly. The two of them had agreed that he would help them open the treasure chest, but he could be said to have come a long way. What the other party is doing now can be said to have violated the agreement and found someone else. However, since the other party said that the reward would be paid, Chu Wei's dissatisfaction slowly disappeared. I didn't come here just for the intermediate mutation crystal. Since others don't use me, I am happy to be free. Just get what you want. It's okay, I don't think you meant this. Chu Wei could sense the apology in the other party's tone. It seemed that asking someone else to open the treasure box was not Yan Chenexai's intention. Of course I didn't think of this. It's all Wang Ming's fault. He was looking for trouble for nothing. I said I found someone, but he actually found a weirdo from nowhere in a few days. Yan Chenexai looked dissatisfied, but this weirdo is quite powerful and very talented. Even I can't see through his strength. I'm afraid he can compete with Bai too. Weird, Chu Wei was aroused. Well, this person is wearing a big black robe. I don't know what he looks like, but I always feel that the purpose of this is not simple. Yan Chenexai's eyes were full of fear. At the same time, she sighed and said, but my dad doesn't believe it. He said that Wang Ming found this person. He believed it, Chu Wei listened quietly. Yan Chenexai was probably feeling depressed, so she told Chu Wei all the recent events in the Yan family. It turns out that Wang Ming is Yan Luozhen's godson. He has been helping the Yan family take care of many things over the years. He is very capable, so he has won Yan Luozhen's trust. Sometimes Yan Luozhen's trust in Wang Ming is even higher than his trust in Yan Chenexai's daughter. So this time when Wang Ming found a man in black robe and said he could help the Yan family open the treasure chest, Yan Luozhen believed it without any doubt. But Yan Chenexai was suspicious in his heart. He was worried that the man in black robe had other agendas, and he was probably coming for his treasure chest. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 423. Then don't you suspect that I'm also coming for your treasure chest, Chu Wei said teasingly after hearing this. Yan Chenexai looked at Chu Wei. I don't suspect that. If you dare to take my treasure chest, I'll give it to you, he. Chu Wei shook his head, speechless. Am I so trustworthy? I seem to be quite fierce. Chu Wei said to himself, I don't know how many fights I have fought, and I have killed many people. Yan Chenexai looked at Chu Wei again. In fact, she didn't know how to say it, maybe it was a feeling. She always felt that Chu Wei was the kind of person who would do what he promised. The two sped past on the street, and Chu Wei also looked out the window. In addition to the distinctive buildings in Xinyu City, the rest of the place is similar to other cities. There are shops on both sides of the street, and there are couples coming in and out of the door of the cinema. Chu Wei let out a long breath. It seems that this era is more dangerous and people are stronger, but the basic life seems to be similar to 500 years ago. The spiritual sports car drove directly into a big villa. Just after getting off the car, Yan Chenexai asked Chu Wei to wait at the place where she got off the car, and she was going to park the sports car. Chu Wei casually looked at the villa on the spot. It was basically the same as other villas, with a garden, a swimming pool, and various luxurious facilities. "Are you the Chu Wei that Sister Chenexai found?" a faint and hostile voice sounded behind Chu Wei. Chu Wei slowly turned around and looked at the person who was talking. This person had a pointed face and long hair, which made people look a little sinister. "My name is Wang Ming, and I'm here to tell you something." Wang Ming took a few steps forward and came to Chu Wei, lowering his voice and saying, "I tell you, if you dare to touch Yan Chenexai's finger, I will make you live a life worse than death. Because this woman is mine." He looked at Chu Wei with a pair of eyes tilted, with both provocation and warning in his eyes. Chu Wei looked at Wang Ming, looked at the face in front of him, and said lightly, "I'm telling you now, you'd better get out of here. Also, don't stay in front of me, or I'm afraid I'll beat you up so hard that even your mother won't recognize you." "What did you say?" Wang Ming said with gritted teeth. Wang Ming is also an upper-class person in Xinyu City. Generally, people younger than him will call him Brother Wang after seeing him. And the guy in front of him, who is obviously a student, seems too arrogant. "I say you'd better get out now." Chu Wei will not restrain himself just because he is in someone else's territory. Xinyu City is just a medium-sized city, and the city lord is probably at the level of a great awakener. If this Wang Ming wants to get beaten, Chu Wei will not be soft-hearted. "Boy, you are brave enough." Wang Ming's eyes completely turned cold, and the spiritual energy fluctuations in his body began to release when he looked at Chu Wei. He is at the level of Awakener 7, and such strength is enough for him to be called Brother Wang by students in Xinyu City. He stared at Chu Wei, as if he was going to attack in the next second. However, Chu Wei smiled faintly. Seeing Chu Wei's smile, Wang Ming clenched his fists. This student's smile was really annoying. Wang Ming's eyes were fierce, and he was about to attack. But at this time, a hand gently rested on Wang Ming's body. It was a man in a black robe. "Brother Wang, you are also a person of status in Xinyu City. Why bother to argue with a student? Don't forget our important matter. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger." Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 424. Wang Ming looked back and said, "Brother Gongke said, let's go." But when leaving, Wang Ming took a deep look at Chu Wei and said, "Stupid student, I will let you know Brother Wang's abilities and let you know what a social person is." "Haha," Chu Wei laughed mockingly. Watching the two people leave calmly, Chu Wei found that he had no mood swings at all. If it were before, Chu Wei felt that he must have been angry, but now, he found that he was like watching a bastard pretending to be fake in front of him. Sometimes, if SB doesn't take the initiative to cause trouble for him, he doesn't want to pay attention to their talk. Perhaps I am the kind of person who doesn't talk much now? Either I beat him to death, or I don't bother to talk to him. Chu Wei smiled disdainfully again. When Yan Chenexai came back, he immediately took Chu Wei to meet his father, Yan Luojun. Yan Luojun is in the realm of the Great Awakener and can be considered a master. After Yan Luojun looked at Chu Wei, he was very satisfied with Chu Wei. He immediately told Chu Wei that after opening the treasure box tomorrow, he would give Chu Wei the reward he had agreed upon. "Don't you think there's something wrong with the king's name?" Chu Wei said when Yan Chenexai took Chu Wei out of the villa hall and came to the garden. Yan Chenexai was slightly surprised, frowned, and said, "No way, although Brother Wang Ming is usually a bit more arrogant, he is my father's godson after all. And he has contributed a lot to our Yan family over the years, so there shouldn't be any problems." Although Yan Chenexai doesn't like Wang Ming very much, it is undeniable that Wang Ming has done a good job in helping take care of the Yan family's affairs over the years. He is especially loyal to his father. I remember 2 years ago, he discovered that someone wanted to murder my father. Brother Wang Ming was hunted down by more than 10 people in order to come back to report the matter. In the end, he narrowly escaped pursuit and came back. If the wounds on his body had been deeper, he would have died. That's why my father especially trusted Brother Wang Ming. If you say there is something wrong with Brother Wang Ming, even if I believe it, my father will definitely not believe it. Chu Wei listened silently to Yan Chenxi's words and then said, "Don't you think Wang Ming likes you?" "This, I know this, but I have clearly rejected him." Yan Chenxi's beautiful face showed a helplessness. "I said that I just regarded him as an older brother and that I would not have any feelings between men and women, and I never asked for the things he gave me. This doesn't count as cheating on his feelings, right?" Chu Wei listened quietly. "But sometimes this Wang Minga is really annoying. I even said that I don't like him anymore, but he still keeps pestering me. I remember one time, when I was bored, I just threw the things he gave me in front of me. Thinking about it now, I was a little impulsive at the time. After all, he is my father's godson. And he's usually very nice to me." "Well done, if you knew what he just said to me, you wouldn't feel guilty," Chu Wei said lightly. Yan Chenxi was shocked. Chu Wei continued, "He came to me just now while you were parking the car. He said that you were his, and I don't think that was love, but that he wanted to possess you like an object. Moreover, you said that he was the one who found the man in black robe, and you also suspected that the man in black robe might be trying to steal your treasure chest. That's why I thought there was something wrong with him. Is it possible that he and the man in black robe are in the same group?" Chu Wei still remembered that when the man in black robe patted Wang Ming on the shoulder, he said that they had big things to do. What other big things could happen in the Yan family? Naturally, it's a big deal with only treasure chests. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 425. Yan Chenxi frowned, "No way." She suspected the black-robed man, but it was hard for her to believe that Wang Ming would join forces with him. After all, she had called Wang Ming her elder brother for many years. No matter what, there was some affection between the two. She really couldn't believe that Wang Ming would betray the Yan family. This was too incredible. "Believe it or not, I'm just telling you what I saw," Chu Wei said lightly. In fact, no matter what tricks Wang Ming and the black-robed man played, Chu Wei was not afraid. As for whether Yan Chenxi believed him or not, it was up to her. Yan Chenxi frowned and thought for a while, then said, "No, I want to talk to my dad." As the saying goes, those who are involved are confused, and those who are on the sidelines are clear. After Yan Chenxi heard Chu Wei's words, she did think that Brother Wang Ming seemed to have some problems. First, she came back from Bianshan City half a month ago and told her father that she found Chu Wei who could open the treasure chest. Wang Ming actually found a black-robed man who could open the treasure chest within half a month. You know, before this, the Yan family had been quietly searching for 2 years but still couldn't find someone with the right talent. However, Wang Ming found it in half a month. Isn't this too coincidental? Didn't he and the black-robed man have a plan? Otherwise, how could Wang Ming find the person who could open the treasure chest first? Moreover, his father originally wanted to open the treasure chest during the ancestor worship, but it was only after Wang Ming's brother's persuasion that he opened the treasure chest in advance. And the reason for Wang Ming's persuasion was that the earlier it was opened, the earlier the Yan family would rise. Although it sounds like it's for the Yan family, if Wang Ming really calculated the Yan family with the black-robed man, then the earlier the treasure chest was opened, the earlier they would get the treasure chest. The earlier they occupied the things that belonged to the Yan family. Thinking of this, Yan Chenxi's eyes changed, and things suddenly became much clearer. At the same time, she looked at Chu Wei again. In the past, she just thought that Chu Wei had extraordinary talent and fighting power, but now, she found that Chu Wei had clear thinking and a smart mind. At that moment, he felt that it was the right decision to invite Chu Wei. Perhaps because of him, Wang Ming could show his true colors. So, Yan Chenexai immediately went to find his father. What? Chenexai, you said Wang Ming might have betrayed our Yan family. This is impossible. This is impossible. Yan Chenexai and Yan Luojun were the only two people in the villa hall, and they were obviously talking in secret. Dad, I don't believe it either, but when I think about it carefully, brother Wang Ming is indeed a little suspicious. Think about it, I just found Chu Wei, and he found the man in black robe. And... Shut up, you are not allowed to say that about Wang Ming. Do you know that he almost died in order to report the news that someone killed me? How can you doubt him so much? Yan Luojun became angry. But... Don't say but, Wang Ming is my godson, and he has always treated me as his own father. I will not doubt my son, but you. Yan Luojun looked at Yan Chenexai. Yan Chenexai was stunned. It's you. It's been less than half a day since Chu Wei came here, and you've already started to suspect brother Wang Ming, with whom you've had a long-term relationship. In my opinion, it must be that Chu Wei who's behind this. He must have felt unhappy after seeing us find the others, so he deliberately slandered brother Wang Ming, who found the man in black robes. Perhaps, he's the one who's after my Yan family's treasure chest, because he doesn't need to open the treasure chest, so he can't touch it, so he's trying to sow discord. Yan Luojun became angrier and angrier as he spoke, and with a snap, he smashed a yellow wood table next to him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Xu Xiangzike. Chapter 426. Go and tell Chu Wei that he should be honest when he is in my Yan family. If he is honest, when the treasure chest is opened tomorrow, he will receive the same things that our Yan family promised to him. But if he has other small ideas about the treasure chest, then don't blame me, Yan Luojun, for being ruthless. Yan Chenexai was stunned. She really didn't expect her father's reaction to be so big. Not only did she not believe her at all, she also began to doubt Chu Wei. Until now, she suddenly discovered that Wang Ming had unknowingly deceived his father into believing in him alone. My father no longer even believed in himself, his biological woman. At that moment, Yan Chenexai's eyes turned red and she said loudly, sooner or later you will regret it. Humph. I, Yan Luojun, am a master in the realm of the Great Awakener, how could I regret it? But that Chu Wei who bewitched you, you told him to stop sowing discord, otherwise, I will not be lenient. You. At this moment, Yan Chenexai was so angry that tears fell down. He turned around and ran out of the hall of the villa. After leaving the hall, Yan Chenexai wiped her tears, then a determined look appeared in her eyes, and she said, I will never let Wang Ming's conspiracy succeed. Although there is no absolute evidence yet, Yan Chenexai is now almost certain that Wang Ming has a conspiracy this time. As for the conversation between Yan Luojun and Yan Chenexai, Chu Wei didn't know. He just said what he should say. As for how the Yan family would deal with it, that was none of Chu Wei's business. Led by a servant, Chu Wei came to another house in the villa compound, where he would rest for the night. After you get your reward tomorrow, it's none of your business to care about his king's name or his conspiracies. In a corner of the compound, a man dressed as a servant saw Chu Wei entering the house, turned around and left, and exited the Yan family villa compound. He came to a secret room on the street, knocked on the door a few times, and entered the room. Brother Wang, the boy who just arrived has been placed in the room on the left side of the courtyard, the servant said respectfully to the king's name in the room. Sitting next to Wang Ming was a man in black robe. Wang Ming said calmly, "Okay, go ahead and keep staring at him. If Miss Chen 11 has any contact with him, tell me immediately." Clear. Wang Ming thought of Yan Chenxi's mature and attractive figure again. He would never allow other men to have the opportunity to get Yan Chenxi. Such a good woman can only be his. Brother Wang Ming really loves beauty, Gong Cai chuckled. It used to be love, but now, I want this proud woman to be my king's plaything, and that old man Yan Luojun, on the surface, treats me like his son. In fact, they are not using me to work for their Yan family. This time I'm going to bring down the Yan family in one fell swoop. Gong Cai clapped his hands and said, "Brother Wang Ming said it well, no one is a poisonous man, no husband, this time we will completely eradicate the Yan family." Wang Ming turned around and suddenly said respectfully, "Of course I have to thank Brother Gong Ke for helping me this time. After I join the forces behind you in the future, I will do my best to serve the forces behind you." It's easy to say, it's easy to say. I know the talents of Brother Wang Ming. In the future, he will definitely be able to do a great job among the forces behind me. Then beauty and power will be at your fingertips. Gong Cai patted Wang Ming on the shoulder and said with great appreciation. But when Wang Ming lowered his head and couldn't see his eyes, when Gong Cai looked at Wang Ming's brother, a playful and disdainful smile immediately appeared in his eyes. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 427. In the courtyard of the villa. The servant who had just gone to Wang Ming returned to the house where Chu Wei stayed and watched carefully. As for the servants watching outside the house, Chu Wei in the house was extremely sensitive and could naturally feel it. But Chu Wei did not take them to heart. Chu Wei sat cross-legged in the room. He was bored and activated the physical strength in his body. In an instant, a layer of red dragon scales began to cover his whole body from his palms. Even his pupils turned red. Every time when the half-dragon body constitution was activated, Chu Wei could always feel that the physical strength in his body was completely activated in an instant. The strength in his body seemed to make him feel like he could tear everything apart with his hands. It was a power different from spiritual energy, but a pure physical power. This power was both primitive and violent. Every time Chu Wei activated the half-dragon body constitution, he always had a violent feeling of wanting to tear everything apart. This violent feeling came from the half-dragon body constitution, or perhaps from the drop of real dragon blood that Ye Zhou gave him. Chu Wei still clearly remembered that when he first acquired the physique of a half-dragon, this physique was far from being so strong. But when he entered the realm of the Awakener, Chu Wei took the blood of a real dragon, and his physique changed instantly. Runes appeared on the scales, and more importantly, his pupils also turned red. All these changes made Chu Wei more half-dragon. Chu Wei's eyebrows moved, and suddenly, golden runes rushed out from Chu Wei's forehead, and the golden runes gathered and arranged on the top of Chu Wei's head. In the blink of an eye, a golden dragon head was formed. This dragon head is majestic and domineering. Although its two eyeballs are also formed by runes, it gives people a feeling that they dare not look at it. If Chu Wei wants, as long as he roars now, this dragon head will send out a ripple attack. I am afraid that this house will immediately become powder. Chu Wei's eyebrows moved again, and the runes dissipated and returned to Chu Wei's body. This rune was the second gift that Ye Zhou gave him. At that time, it said that this was its exclusive rune martial arts, and it was a good thing. Because at that time, the dragon said that the earth-level martial arts were too rubbish, so he couldn't give them away, and the heaven-level martial arts couldn't be passed on. Finally, he gritted his teeth and gave him the exclusive rune martial arts. Chu Wei narrowed his eyes and thought, if you count it this way, Even if this exclusive rune martial arts is not as good as the heaven-level martial arts, it should be above the earth-level martial arts. But Chu Wei used this skill when fighting against the Dark Light ability, and it seemed that except for being able to make others be attacked by roars, it didn't have a particularly strong power. Although Chu Wei had never seen Earth-level martial arts, it was recorded in books that Earth-level martial arts were extremely powerful. When a strong person used them, they had the power to destroy a city. However, this rune martial arts obviously didn't have that much power. Did I get fooled by that dragon? It shouldn't be. Chu Wei shook his head. He had seen quite a few people. Although it was a dragon, Chu Wei could feel that the dragon had a kind of arrogance in its bones. After all, it didn't even look at the 5th level weapon, the giant sword by at that time. Judging from this alone, it shouldn't lie to me. Is it because my realm is too low that I can't exert the power of martial arts? Chu Wei shook his head and was too lazy to think about it. If this martial arts really has a secret, then I will know it sooner or later. After all, the thing is already on me. Then Chu Wei dispersed the dragon scales on his body, flipped his hand, and took out another piece of red dragon scale. This dragon scale is more shiny than the dragon scale on Chu Wei's body, and the patterns on it are much more profound than those on Chu Wei's body. This dragon scale was left to him by the strange dragon Yezhou when he left. Super God System becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiangzike. Chapter 428. It is said that when you are in trouble, you can take this dragon scale to find it. Although this dragon does not look very reliable, Chu Wei can vaguely feel that it is a big guy. And it is the kind of big guy who can kill Ma Renfen in seconds. Because according to records and legends, heaven-level martial arts are the most high-end resources on the entire earth. Yezhou can have heaven-level martial arts, which is itself a manifestation of strength. Maybe he can't be called a big guy. It is very likely that he is a giant, the kind that dominates one side. After all, according to the records, it seems that no one in the entire central continent, hundreds of countries, has heaven-level martial arts. It can be seen that Yezhou, who has heaven-level martial arts, must be very extraordinary. However, Chu Wei frowned again, and this guess was actually not wrong. However, when he thought that the strange dragon might be a giant, Chu Wei still didn't believe it. Because the style of that guy, no matter how you look at it, it looks a bit like a stupid person with a lot of money, the stupid son of a landlord. But then Chu Wei smiled again, too lazy to think. Anyway, this guy is not his enemy. Maybe one day, if I get into trouble, I can really rely on this dragon scale to seek refuge with it. The night passed quickly, and when the sun rose the next day, the time for the Yan family to open the treasure chest soon came. Brother Gong Cai, I'll leave the matter of opening the treasure chest to you. In the hall of the villa yesterday, Yan Luojun took out a square golden box. Today's Yan family villa can be said to be layered with defenses. Outside the compound, there are a layer of bodyguards alone. In the compound, there are also many powerful people patrolling. These people almost have the strength of the awakened realm. Obviously, the Yan family usually recruits a lot of people. In the hall of the villa, there are only 5 people in total: Yan Luojun, Wang Ming, Yan Chenexai, Chu Wei, and the black-robed man Gong Cai. Yan Chenexai stared at Gong Cai and Wang Ming with a pair of eyes. As long as they have something abnormal, she will take action immediately. Yan Luojun looked at Chu Wei from time to time. His eyes were full of defense against Chu Wei, and he obviously insisted that Chu Wei was trying to sow discord. Chu Wei also discovered Yan Luojun's attitude towards him. Chu Wei never thought that his kindness yesterday was taken for granted by the other party. "Don't worry, Master Yan, I will definitely do what I promised." Gong Cai's voice was very flat. But Chu Wei could still feel the excitement hidden in his voice. Don't worry, you are the person my son Wang Ming found. Of course I am 100% assured." Yan Luojun smiled and cut his finger to squeeze out a drop of blood. Gong Cai did the same, and squeezed out a drop of blood with a stroke of his finger. 2 drops of blood floated in the air. Yan Luojun sucked them with his hand, and 2 drops of blood came in front of him, and then under his urging of a technique, the 2 drops of blood that were originally not related by blood were forcibly fused together. Yan Luojun dripped the fused blood onto a small notch on the treasure chest. As soon as the blood entered the notch, the entire treasure chest began to tremble constantly, and the entire treasure chest began to turn red, as if it was burned by flames. Ka-ka. 2 slight sounds, and the treasure chest seemed to have a lock opened. But this treasure chest looked like a square hole, with no lock on it, only a notch, so it was quite strange. But when Yan Luojun heard this sound, he showed ecstasy on his face. Great, great, after so many years, the treasure chest is finally opened again. Yes, it's great. Thank you so much, Godfather. Wang Ming looked at the treasure chest and suddenly spoke in a weird tone. At the same time, he moved his hand and grabbed the treasure chest in his hand when Yan Luojun was completely unprepared. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shuxiang ZK. Chapter 429. Yan Luojun was stunned, and then immediately said angrily, Ming what are you doing? What are you doing? Old man, don't you know it yet? This treasure chest is mine, Wang Ming laughed. So you really dared to betray me, as GeniusProtagonist said. Yan Luojun was furious and heartbroken. For so many years, he had always treated the other party as his own son, but he didn't expect to be betrayed by others. What's there to be afraid of? Isn't the treasure chest in my hands now? Ha ha ha. Do you think you can run away with the treasure chest? I, a great awakener, can kill you easily. Yan Luojun clenched his fist, and a wave of spiritual energy fluctuations of the great awakener instantly enveloped the entire hall. Under this huge spiritual pressure, the glass in the hall was directly shattered and turned into fragments. However, at this moment, Yan Luojun suddenly covered his chest with one hand, bent his body, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. The blood just sprayed on Wang Ming's face, which was shocking. You, what did you do to me? Yan Luojun pointed at Wang Ming. He could feel that there was a ball of gas in his body that was destroying his body crazily. His body would never have problems for no reason. Someone must have done something to him. Dad, are you okay? Yan GeniusProtagonist immediately went over to support Yan Luojun, who was about to fall. Ha ha ha. Actually, it's nothing. It's just a little poison. It will be triggered as long as too much spiritual energy is used. When did you do it? Yan Luojun spoke weakly. At the same time, he secretly mobilized his own spiritual energy and supernatural powers to remove the poisonous gas, but he could only suppress the poisonous gas and prevent it from erupting with all his strength. He couldn't use his spiritual energy to fight. Not to mention killing the traitor in front of him. Wang Ming glanced at Yan Luojun and said proudly, this poison cost a lot of money. You can't get rid of it, so don't waste your energy. Since you want to know when I did it, then I'll tell you. Do you remember the mutant fish I brought you the day before yesterday? It tasted so fresh, but you may not have noticed that I didn't eat it at all that day. Ha ha ha. Yan Luojun thought Wang Ming was filial that day and brought him delicious food. It turned out that all this was a trap planned by the other party. Come on, Yan Luojun shouted loudly. There were people he had recruited for many years in the yard outside. Don't shout, no one will come in, these people have been bribed by me. Yan Luojun was angry again. It seemed that the other party had planned it for a long time, and even the people around him were bribed by him. Why did you do this? I have treated you like my own son all these years. Facing Yan Luozhen's questioning, Wang Ming, with blood all over his face, smiled again, like a devil. Treat me like your own son? That's because I, Wang Ming, am useful to your Yan family. I, Wang Ming, have been managing various businesses for your Yan family all these years, and I have done my best, but what about you? You always say that you treat me as your son, but why don't you give me the treasure chest of the Yan family? You traitor, this treasure chest is passed down from my ancestors, how can I give it to you? Yan Luozhen was very angry. Then don't say you treat me like your son. If you really treat me like your son, then when I need you to die, you should die quietly. Only then can you be considered to have done a good thing for me. Yan Luozhen, you beast. Hearing this, Chu Wei also shook his head. This Wang Ming is a scumbag among scumbags. Super God system becomes infinitely stronger. Author, Shu Xiang ZK. Chapter 430. Sister Chenexai, what's wrong? You don't seem surprised at all. Wang Ming looked at Yan Chenexai proudly. Yan Chenexai looked at Wang Ming. She wanted to go up and kill him immediately, but Yan Chenexai looked at the black-robed man beside Wang Ming. Gong Cai. Gong Cai's strength is definitely higher than his own. If he takes the initiative, he may not only be unable to kill Wang Ming, but also make himself and his father fall into each other's strangulation immediately. Bah! You make me sick, Yan Chenexai said angrily. Haha, that's good, but I, Wang Ming, will tell you that from now on, this disgusting person, I, Wang Ming, will treat you as my plaything and let you know the consequences of looking down on me, Wang Ming. A vicious light flashed in Wang Ming's eyes. He had pursued Yan Chenexai many times, but the other party never took him seriously. He even hated him, which made him want to play with this proud woman in his hands to see how she could still be proud in front of him. And now, this seems to be becoming a reality. Haha, Wang Ming smiled again. By the way, I almost forgot about you. Wang Ming looked at Chu Wei again. You were a very crazy boy before. Don't worry, I will let you know how powerful Brother Wang is right away. Chu Wei smiled disdainfully, and at the same time, he felt as if he had watched a huge bloody drama today. Yan Luozhen also looked at Chu Wei. At this moment, his eyes were full of regret. If he had believed his daughter yesterday and had taken precautions earlier, he might not have ended up like he did today. Chen 11, Dad is sorry for you. Dad shouldn't doubt you and Chu Wei. It's all Dad's fault. It's Dad who has caused you trouble. Yan Luozhen shed tears of regret. It would be fine if he died in the hands of the traitor Wang Ming today, but if his daughter fell into the hands of the other party and became a plaything, then he would really die in peace. Dad, don't worry, I believe Chu Wei won't stand idly by, Yan Chenexai whispered. Yan Luozhen's eyes were shocked. Could it be that this young man with level 9 awakener could still make a comeback? But it's too difficult. This black-robed talent is not weak, and he might be able to compete with him. If he wasn't poisoned, of course he wouldn't be afraid, but now it's too late. Brother Wang Ming, how does it feel to stand out? At this moment, the man in black robe beside Wang Ming asked softly. This feeling is so good. I, the king, have never felt so good in my life, haha. Then, you can die without regrets. Gong Cai's words suddenly turned cold, and then he attacked Wang Ming's chest with his claws. Wang Ming's chest was instantly pierced. Why? Didn't you say that you value me and want to introduce me to join the forces behind you? Why? This was too unexpected for Wang Ming. Wang Ming looked at each other with wide eyes. However, Gong Cai smiled coldly. How could I like a piece of trash like you? If I hadn't told you this, would you have helped me get this treasure box? Haha. Wang Ming, I hate it. After all the mechanisms were exhausted, he was finally used by others. Gong Cai twitched his hand, and Wang Ming's body fell down. There was a big hole in his chest, and he looked very miserable. The treasure box in Wang Ming's hand immediately fell into Gong Cai's hands. Haha, I finally got it. The black-robed man moved his hand and put the treasure box into his own space. You have got the things, please let us go. Yan Luojun looked at the black-robed palace and said.